All right, let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Ryan Colt Levy, Denji himself. Come on up, Ryan.
Hello, friends. Oh, that's a loud mic. Hello, friends.
You got a power microphone there, buddy.
Project.
Yeah.
It's a cool couch.
Yeah, look at that, man.
That reminds me of like the rug from The Shining.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah. That's what the horror festival cost. All right, up next, Sarah Wiedenheft. Where's Sarah? Power is here. Welcome to San Antonio, Power. Woo! Welcome.
That's right.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
By the way, there are lights upstairs. Remember those lights you got distracted by?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And finally, last but not least, Lindsay Seidel. Come on, Pochita's here.
That's my dog.
Hey, that's your dog. Need help?
Don't mind me, I'm just bringing a salad.
Welcome to San Antonio, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Well, Ryan and you, welcome back.
Thank you.
I think y'all did the first Riverwalk
2 years ago. Was that the first one?
I think that was the first
Oh, wow.
one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And y'all were my first panel, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Hey.
I hope they were nice to you.
They were very nice.
We
We
were.
did our best.
we
It was not
were.
easy.
Well, how do you define nice?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, again, welcome to San Antonio. I know y'all been here before. Your first time here?
Oh no, I've been here many
Oh,
times.
many times?
It's
Yeah.
my first time at this event, but
Yeah.
I've been to San Antonio many times.
Oh, really? Oh, what do you like about the city?
What do I like? Well, I have some family here, so that's my first association with it. The food is great.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh,
humidity
yeah.
is not great.
Yeah, that heat is not fun. That heat is not fun. Here's a little trick. You can tell somebody's from San Antonio. Say, what are the two things you don't like about San Antonio? Heat and construction. Heat and construction. I mean,
My
seriously.
hotel room is facing the construction of this. Like,
Me too.
And I was like, I don't know who I pissed off.
Yeah.
But
I have some
I got
real
out on the balcony and I was like,
soothing
okay, all right.
So that's how they wake you up in Texas, right?
Yeah.
With construction. All right, well,
Not
again,
I'm from New York. I'm built for it, man.
New York?
Yeah.
New York too.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm
Sunnyside,
a
New York.
boy.
Sunnyside, Queens.
Oh, stellar. Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
Sunnyside, Queens. Yeah. Well, I lived in the Bronx for a while.
Okay.
Riverdale.
Okay.
Then Queens, Sunnyside. Tried Manhattan for 1 year.
Yeah, I grew up. I was born in Manhattan, and then
Yeah.
now my dad is in Brooklyn, and my mom is on the island. We're just doing New York talk.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
That's all good.
Sorry, but I miss it.
Same.
I moved back home. This is home. But I was there for about 20 years. 20 years. So I became an adopted New Yorker. You know how?
Damn.
My apartment got broken in.
Yep.
Yeah. Whenever that happens, you're all right. You're in. You're officially in. All right. Well, Ryan, let me start off with you. Denji. Such a character. Such an iconic character. Did you audition for that specific role for Denji?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that process.
So, to my understanding, quite a few people auditioned for it. I think when all was said and done, I think all of the main cast had like a few thousand people each audition because the manga itself was, obviously at that point quite popular. And I think even in the community within the industry, even if people hadn't read it or didn't fully know what it was, they heard grumbling that it was going to be something substantial. So I think a lot of people really just were like gung-ho for it. I actually had read all of part 1, the first 11 volumes of the manga, in 2020 during the pandemic.
Wow.
I just found it on a whim. I couldn't tell you the last time I had read a manga or like fully dove into something, modern. And I saw that cover and was like, this is, probably what most of us think. You see the image, you see the name, and you're like,
Yeah.
And then, what am I doing?
Yeah. They're having fun.
I had a mini panic, sorry. I was like, oh God, where are you?
This is power.
Yeah, that's power, right?
I won't be able to go home.
You never get to go home. So I find this cover and I'm like, what a weird looking punk rock kind of vibe. And I think, for whatever reason, it just makes me look into it. And from that very first page, it just like sucked me in. And I became consumed and I fell in love with it. And I really became really protective over Denji.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just destroyed me. And so when it came around to the audition, like over a year later, I genuinely didn't even think I was going to get to see the audition. I was like, for sure they're going to cast,
Sure.
way bigger names. They're not even going to let a small fry like me read for this thing. And when I saw the sides, I thought, well, this is my chance for 5 minutes to get to live as Denji, and that's good enough for me. So I got the sides, and when you get them, they're all written out differently, but Denji's like first thing that they had was written in like a giant paragraph. And from the first word, I was like, oh, I know what page this is on.
Really?
And I know exactly how the scene plays out. And it's not spoken like a giant paragraph. It's, this moment that he has with his boy. It was the scene where he talks to Pochita on the log about, all of his dreams and his desires and stuff. And I was like, well, this is the Denji that I've always thought about. As much as we think about, the crazy, feral, insane survival boy, there's also so much depth and heart. And I wanted to be able to play that part of it, so I was really grateful that I got to. And then I think a week later there was a callback, and I did a different scene, and I remember like in that one I also was like, I know what page this is on, and Denji's eating in that scene, so I'm gonna eat something while I do the recording and kind of just like do the whole thing, and sent that in. Again, did not think.
Wait, this is important. What did you eat?
I had an apple, because there was an apple in the scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, the crunch has to be right.
Where'd you get that apple?
Stole it. Off a little kid.
Oh my
right outside my apartment.
yeah,
I was like, perfect.
Yeah, the corner fruit stands. Right?
Yeah, exactly. In Denji fashion. And then I sent that in, and then a week later, I get a text message from Mike, our director, and he's like, hey, do you have a second to talk? I was like, yeah, sure. And then my phone rings right away, and I'm like, I'm in trouble. I don't know what I did, but I don't know. Yeah, I know. And he's like, hey, man, how's it going? And he kind of like, he's like slow rolling it to me. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be directing Chainsaw Man. And I go, dude, oh my God, that's awesome. And I'm freaking out for him, and I am not registering why he's telling me this.
Sure.
Because, in the industry, when you're working on projects that other people aren't, you don't share it until it's public because there are NDAs. So clearly I'm being given privied information and I am not registering at all. And he finally gets to the point of telling me I'm going to be Denji, and like my head just explodes.
Right.
And once I picked my brain matter up off the floor, I was able to recalibrate and then get to recording it like a month or so later, and it changed my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, clap.
Yay.
For a minute, that Apple story you said right now, I thought you were going to say Pochita got it for you. Yeah, I can see Pochita doing that.
Normally, yes,
Yeah.
but Pochita was busy doing,
Okay.
other stuff. I like to let them also have their independence.
All right, absolutely.
I totally missed that. We were busy shimmying.
No, I said like that Apple story he said, that he stole it. I'm pretty sure
right.
Pochita probably took it for him. I can see that little pup doing that for him. I can see that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Don't
totally.
don't ask me how I found this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Denji, congratulations to you. I don't know if you know this. 2024 Winter Anime Award, Best Voice Acting Performance in English for Chainsaw
How
Man
funny
and
would that be if
Denji.
you didn't know and this is how you found out?
What, really?
You know why? You know why? Because the previous panel for Dragon Ball Z, they won some awards. They were like, I did? Did? What? I was nominated? Huh? So
Dang.
I'm learning a lesson here. Don't assume. Yeah.
That's very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. What did that mean for you?
I mean, it means a lot to, for anybody to care that much for it to be considered special to them means the world to me. I mean, I'm just very lucky to be able to do something I love with people that I love, and there's so much talent in this, freaking industry that it feels silly when it becomes like, a competitive thing, because none of us do it for that reason. But it is really nice for people to acknowledge something that you care about so deeply. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Awesome. By the way, before I move on here, is there any other character from the Chainsaw Man universe you would have loved to have played?
Like, had I not been able to play, I mean, I think Aki is such a deeply fascinating and layered character. I don't know that I would be able to give him the same gravitas that Reagan does, though, because he does such a beautiful job with him, and there's so much pathos. But I remember when the auditions first came out, because I was so in denial that like I would never be considered for Denji, but I was like, oh man, like Aki would be a really fascinating character to play. Yeah.
Awesome. Hi. Hello. How you doing there? Yeah. Loving the lights still? The lights
Oh,
above your
yes.
head? Yeah.
I take a hit of it every once in a while.
By the way, like I said earlier, that's such a power thing. That's
Yeah.
what a power would do. Just look at the lights.
That's
look at the lights.
sweet. I just thought it was like a squirrely thing to do, but I'll take that.
By the way, I don't know if this is true, but if they went with that color scheme, that's kind of like the default color scheme of the city of San Antonio.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, right, 'cause
yeah.
it's the rainbow.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, they call them the Fiesta colors. Yeah, so I think that's what they're going there for. But as you love the lights.
One is in my room now. I would never leave.
Did you audition specifically for Power?
Yes.
You did? Okay, tell us about that.
Okay, so I didn't read the manga beforehand, but my partner had the series with him on hand, and so he brought them to me, and I tried to find the exact lines that they were using, and I just kind of jumped to where she was, and so I kind of thought she was a little bit more chaotic than she is, if that's even possible. I kind of gave it a few different goes because I wasn't super sure. At first I thought she was, like, just looking at her, that she had a more mature, like, lower voice, but I just decided on a whim to do my more natural one, and then I went to go look at the trailer, which I should have done from the start, but I normally don't do it because I don't want to be too influenced. But then I was like, okay, yeah, we're on the right track here.
Oh, okay, she sounds exactly like me.
Okay, go. So going low was not the choice. And yeah, I said it in. I did not expect anything from it because I knew like 1,000 people were going to be auditioning for it too. I'm like, I'm probably not going to see that coming back to me, but that was fun. Little did I know
that everybody else who had watched the trailer heard the Japanese
And was like, oh shit,
and it was like, it's gonna be Sarah. It sounds exactly.
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And it is a little, kind of like right now, listen to you, I'm like, I can hear her.
Yeah.
I can hear Power right now.
Yeah, she's not too far
That
from.
crazy one's never too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Gremlin mode.
So you get the call?
No, I live in Dallas where the studio is, and
Where the
so
phones are.
yeah, and I was actually in a session for One Piece with Mike at the time, and he said, I reserved a little room for us afterwards, and I was like, haha, you're funny, okay, goodbye. And then he's like, all right, come on. I was like, oh no, he's serious. What did I do? I'm like going through the collections of like, what did I do to piss him off? Oh no, how did I offend Mike?
Everybody
He's so
thought that they
sweet.
were in trouble.
Yes, I did. And like, it's like the one room that he reserved to was like the size of a broom closet. So like, I get in there and I'm like,
What did I do?
just stares at him and he's like, okay, this doesn't leave this room. I'm like,
You can't leave this
what
room.
did I do?
Building it up, wasn't he?
I was like, I'm trapped. You can do away with me right here. But he told me then, and I was in shock. I immediately am like, okay, who is the rest of the cast? You let me know now, or else, even though I'm the one back to the corner, I don't care. I'm fight.
Yeah, he's probably like, well, Ryan's picking up his brain matter right now. He got it, right? Yeah, she's over there with Pochita, but
I lost my marbles too, and I heard it was gonna be. I'm like, that is so freaking perfect. This is gonna be amazing. I already knew Susie because, she lived in my apartment for a hot minute too.
That's ironic of all.
Yeah. Reagan I didn't know until afterwards, but sweetheart, and then let's see. And then that one. I didn't know that she was Pochita until after the
sure.
premiere.
what happened?
That came later. Well,
What
so
came
the
later?
auditions for Pochita were almost an afterthought.
It's like they forgot. They're like, oh,
No, really, I don't know if they actually.
forgot to cast it?
I don't know that. I don't know. This is not factual information. I wonder if that's what happened because
Yeah.
the timeline was such that I'm suspicious that might have happened. But they had already recorded everybody on the first episode who was in the first episode, with the exception of Pochita. And so I wonder if then they realized, like, oh wait, we haven't cast Pochita. They sent out the auditions for Pochita, and I submitted an audition, and I found out the next day that I had been cast.
You just heard like a knock at your door and you open it. There's just a dog treat.
That would have been perfect.
I would love that. That'd be so cute.
But it was like a really fast turnaround,
It was insanely fast.
Well, because it was right before we went
And
to
then,
Comic-Con.
well, right, so I sent the auditions. Next day, I found out that I got the part. And then when they told me I got the part, they were like, and we need you to come in tomorrow to record this because this is premiering at New York Comic-Con, you know, and they needed it done so that it could be fully, you know, edited and whatever in time for that. Luckily, I had nothing going on the next day, so that was fine.
But dang, you know?
I'm like, did I get
Time
cast
crunch.
because they know I have no life, or
Oh.
they like knew like well, she'll be available?
Is that what makes you think? It makes you wonder if they didn't cast it because of the immediacy of it? Like,
Yeah.
hey, now, come.
Yeah. But again, I don't actually know that. Sometimes that just happens in this industry in general. It might not have been that they literally forgot. I don't know that it was that they literally
Yeah.
forgot. It could have just been that they were like, we know we need to do this, but there are some other things they need to
Like,
Yeah, there
take
may
care
have
of.
been some
last
moves in
minute,
place.
though.
Yeah, there are things that happen all the time that are last minute, and it's not necessarily because they forgot. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm joking when I say that, but
But it could.
It ended up
It's
being
still
really
not out
cool,
of the realm of
though.
idea.
It's not. Yeah, it's not impossible, but no, it ended up being really cool though that then I got to be like the final piece of the puzzle of the
Yeah.
episode, and so I got to like hear everybody in it,
And-
which was really, really neat.
And arguably the piece needed to
Yeah.
spark this
That's
story.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's what I try to remind myself when people like to remind me that Pochita is barely in the show. And I'm like,
Not really.
yeah,
He's over here.
but would he even
Yeah.
be Chainsaw Man without me? Okay.
Damn, Skippy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, but have you thought about Woof Woof Arf?
I think also the Comic-Con, well, this is a con circuit, you make it very clear to fans, the puppy's not dead. The little guy's not
The
dead,
little guy's-
right?
the little
It's
guy's
when I
not
tell that,
dead. And that's not spoilers. Like he's
No,
not.
he's not.
He's
dead.
very
He's
much
right here.
relevant to the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to tell myself that every night to just like feel okay with myself. No, it is a
Just a
thing.
big thing of
It's a
Haagen-Dazs.
repetitive
Yeah.
thing that people come up to my table, and then when they're coming up to see me for something else, you know, and then they see you know, a Pochita print or something, they're like, Pochita has a voice.
Yeah, well, a little bit, well,
Yeah,
a little
it was
lines,
so
right?
memorable for you.
Our new favorite inside joke thing is we were signing at a con a couple of months ago, and I have this print that has Denji holding Pochita kind of like on his shoulder, and this guy, I'm signing it for this dude, and I'm like kind of just in the zone, and he says, I'm gonna get the pig to sign it next. And my first response internally
How rude! Who would call Lindsay a
is
pig?
what did you call Lindsay? And then I realized that he is referring to specifically Pochita, the dog, as a pig. And I was like, this is my new favorite thing. And I leaned over to Lindsay and I was like, you're a pig now.
It's
And she has
When
fully,
I learned
yeah.
about this, it's now my favorite thing too. And I have since, I don't know if it was the same person or not. I'm hoping it was someone different that came up and like definitely was referring to it as a pig.
like serious about it, like just saying, and the pig, and the
Yeah, they're like, oh, I love the
Gusto.
pig. The pig is so cute.
Yeah. Did you have the heart to say, like, well, let's...
No, let it be a pig for them. It didn't matter.
You know what, in your heart, yeah.
Yeah. Pochita is all, right? But little puppy's everything.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about that. I mean, you mentioned you auditioned. How do you audition for that character?
Well,
She cheated, she held up her dog.
We knew it.
yeah, my dog went.
And enough. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. So I've never voiced a dog character before, so I didn't have any experience like trying to make convincing doggy noises. I do have a dog. I have a corgi. His name is Ajax. He's very cute. He's a very cute dog. But interestingly, he doesn't have the typical corgi personality in a lot of ways. One being that he is not terribly vocal. Most corgis are apparently, but he's not. And so
He just writes letters.
Exactly. So I literally for the audition materials, the sides is what we call them. I think it had like all of the lines that Pochita has, because there aren't that many in season 1 at least. So it was like, maybe 3 or 4 lines. And then the rest of the audition was just like, okay, and also please do doggy noises, like, and then parentheses, gave examples like barks, woofs, grunts, panting, whining. And I literally looked up some videos on YouTube of actual dogs making dog noises, and then tried to just imitate it best I could. And then for the dialogue part of it, when the character is talking, I just tried to make him sound as cute as I could, and that was my approach.
Yeah.
And somehow it worked.
I guess you should try to keep it simple.
What'd you
Keep
say?
it simple. Was
You
that
know,
kind of-
I put more time and effort into it than I probably put into a lot of my auditions, because like Ryan was talking about, there was so much hype around this show, even though I hadn't read the manga myself. There had been rumblings about Chainsaw Man for at least a year at that point, of people being like, this is gonna be the next big thing, and I'm like, well, I want to be in the big thing. Why not? So yeah, I put a good amount of time and effort into the audition and doing a bunch of different takes and trying to submit the best thing I could.
Sure.
And so yeah, when I found out I got the part, I was freaking thrilled. I was so excited.
Yeah.
Even knowing that it's not like, at least in season 1, it was gonna, he wasn't gonna show up that much or whatever. I was so excited to have any part of the show at all. And also just because, everybody loves Pochita. He's so cute and
Truly the best one.
yeah. Who doesn't like being a mascot character? Yeah.
Sarah, I want to go back to power real fast. How did you attack or just look at, power? You said you looked at her and stuff, but when did you say, maybe I just got to be myself and just put myself into her? Did that ever cross your mind?
It was more like when I looked at the manga, it kind of gave me more of the idea of like maybe she's not quite as mature as I thought. She seems a little bit crazy. And I think that's really just it. I just went into my gremlin house and I figured, she seems like she's a really annoying younger sister type thing, and I have that on lock,
Absolutely.
I just leaned into those 2 elements.
Yeah. All right, let me give them the heads up. All right, now you want to start lining up for questions from the panel. We'll get to you in just a few seconds. We'll let a few people get it going here. Is there any other, I asked Ryan this other, but is there any other character within the Chainsaw universe that you would love to play?
Probably Kobani, because she's crazy too.
Yeah, any crazy character, right?
Crazy character.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah, well, in the previous panel, the Dragon Ball Z panel, the My Hero Academia panel, they flat out said, no, playing the villain is always the best. Playing the best.
They're really fun.
Yeah.
Villains are always fun.
Yeah. Why do you think
Delicious,
that is?
yum yum.
I think because, assuming we are like good people in real life, it really gives us the chance to go crazy and play something completely different than how we are in real
Yeah,
life.
you do and say things that you never would.
Exactly.
You can do it without actually hurting anyone.
You're right, exactly.
It's just very satisfying.
Well, in that panel, we all agreed that, like, even in movies where the bad guy wins, those are always like the best movies. Why? Because it's just so different. Like,
Everybody knows Empire Strikes
right,
Back is
exactly.
against Star
Darth
Wars.
Vader won, yeah. Drago beat Rocky, what? Or beat Claw, yeah, what? Exactly, all that stuff. But what about you? Any other character you like to play in the Chainsaw universe?
I think the most fun one to play would absolutely be Power, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But that is not me saying I wish I would have voiced Power,
Yeah.
because I am not kidding you at all when I say I watched that trailer and I was like, that is Sarah Wiedenheft, and I will be mad if anyone else gets the part because then it will be incorrect casting. Like she's the correct choice. It's just clear as day. Did I still audition for it? Yeah, but did I try that hard at that one? Not really. I didn't put as much effort and time into it because I was so convinced that it was going to be Sarah because it needed to be.
Yeah, you were born to play the role, Sarah.
Born psycho. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go look. Oh, all right, let's go and look at the questions we got here. Let's go start with the first one. Go ahead, young man. Yeah, go ahead. You want to help him out?
hey, you guys. Whole operation here. Hey.
First of all, it's so good to see all of y'all again. I already met y'all before. And Ryan, I already met you at NostalgiaCon last year, and I finished Chainsaw Man.
Oh, amazing.
And I was gonna ask this question for you and Sarah, but if it makes you uncomfortable, I can ask a different question. This question is about episode 5.
Okay.
It's with the scene where you and Denji and Power in the beginning. Power says something to Denji, saying about that since I let you, since you let me do this or whatever, I'll let you, touch me in a certain area 3 times. And then he does, but then he finds out she wears a little extra piece. And I want to know, what was that scene like for you guys into recording that?
Thankfully, because I get to do this show with people that I'm very close with and feel really safe with, it's easy to go to like vulnerable places and not feel uncomfortable. The biggest thing for me doing that stuff is really making sure that I'm being genuine to what the characters need. And, so much of that scene, I think a lot of the scenes that people may take out of context or may look at from a funny angle are actually really important moments, like developmentally for the characters. And specifically in that for Denji, he's so obsessed about with this idea that he thinks, oh, if I do this thing, that gives me some kind of value. It means that I'm connected to a person and someone is like letting me in and letting me be a part of their lives, It seems like a very surface level thing, but really there's so much depth packed into it behind it, even though he doesn't know how to express that. And then when he has the interaction, he realizes that what he actually wants is not that, and he does not know how to fully process like the depth of that. You see him then for the rest of the episode wrestle with it, and he has a line when he's talking to Makima later where he says, does this mean the idea of chasing a thing is always going to feel better than actually having it? And I think that is like a really important marker that he doesn't fully understand the depth of what he wants and what he needs in his connection. So while that scene can be played for laughs, I think it's a really important moment for him, finding more of himself, honestly. And it defines more of their relationship too, because it really is, it's a complicated but really important one for both of their development.
Yeah. It was such a clumsy scene too.
Yeah.
I think that's something that was so fun about it too, is because that's like a very realistic kind of thing too. Like somebody, like a girl, like, filling it up a little bit and then being like embarrassed that it happened too, and then like she's like catching herself too, being like, oh wait, this is kind of nice, but no, wait, no, not me. wait, I don't like him like that. She's like, I'm out of here. This never happened, she says, and she leaves.
Power's wearing a push-up, and then he finds out she's not wearing an extra piece, and then Makima tries to introduce Denji, and he falls over.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for that. Hello there.
I would like to know how you guys would think your characters would react to this kind of support.
To this kind of support, oh man, that's a lovely question.
Good question.
I'm gonna answer for both, and then you can answer for both. Because I think how they would both respond.
I totally missed it. I'm sorry. I think I was getting the lights again.
Question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the question was, how will your characters react to seeing all this fan support?
Like to get it.
Oh.
I think Denji would have a like, you like me, you really like me kind of moment. Like he would be like really like up in it, just kind of like fully taking it. And probably would let it go to his head for at least a day, and then he would like rationalize it a little bit. Power, I think, would immediately just start taking slaves.
Yeah, I think she would definitely
She'd be like,
on
fine,
my
I
ground.
claim you all now, you are mine, yeah.
It's like, quite obviously, I am great. You're right.
Yeah. Took you so long to figure it out.
Yes.
I think Pochita would just be like,
Did you bring any toast?
The toast, right? You gotta have the toast.
Or so just like, just getting pets all day from all kinds
Imagine
of
that. Pets all day. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Goes up to meet every single person.
All the mountain of toast you would get though. That's
he would eat all of it.
in one sitting.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Have you
If he's
seen,
anything
if
like
you
my
leave
dog.
food in front of a dog, they don't
Oh,
stop.
Yeah.
And he might be part pig, so.
That's true. I had a friend of mine who had a little Frenchie, and they left over a bag of tamales on the kitchen.
Bad idea.
Well, get this. It's a true story. Before the little pup ate the entire dozen,
He opened up a bag of salsa.
that's true. No, I'm just kidding. He invited Pochita. No.
A bag of
No,
salsa.
No, listen, let it pass, all right?
I had to say something.
Jar.
This is so cool. The dog went to everybody's room and left one near their bed.
Aww,
I
that's
kid
really
you
sweet.
not.
He was like, well,
I'm not kidding you.
My dog would never.
It's like, I'm going to eat one for myself,
so
but I'm going to show you that you all get one too.
Yeah.
All right?
It was
Is that
like
what we do in this house?
Yeah,
We
one for you. It was like
share.
one for you, one for your food, rest for me. That's basically what it was. That was so awesome. Would Pochita do that or no?
Wow. I know my dog would
maybe?
do that.
I think maybe.
Maybe with Denji,
With
at least.
Denji,
For sure,
absolutely.
yeah.
Outside of him,
Power?
I don't know about that.
Power?
What, share?
Yeah, well, no, would Pochita share a piece of toast with you?
With power?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't see why not, but also power wouldn't care about the sharing portion, would probably take the whole thing.
Right.
There's that too.
She's
yeah.
done it with him, she'll do it
Yeah,
again.
she'll take it all,
She don't
yes.
care, it's a dog.
Thank you for your
I'm
question.
Thank you for your question. Good question, by the way.
Right.
Hello, sir.
I don't know if it was ever canonically confirmed, but I heard that when the devils transform, they feel the pain. So like Denji feels the blades going through his skin every time. And with that being said,
Can you speak up a little bit?
with that being said, would any of you want to have the powers of your characters? Like Denji would, Denji, you have power, you make blood with your weapons with your blood, and you turn to a cute chainsaw dog.
So real quick, right? He said like.
Yeah, no, yeah. That just seems way too uncomfortable most of the time. I mean, I don't even like getting paper cuts, so I don't think having like constantly revving chainsaws through my forearms and my face would be a pleasant experience. And it also means that I would probably have to be fighting for my life most of the time. So, I mean, as much as I love the story, like I'd rather be in like Pokemon.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, man.
I wanna live,
I
man.
also am a baby when it comes to cuts and pains. So like, I had just a really gross thought, and you can just probably get there yourself. But that would
not.
be just horrid.
No, we can't.
That would be just horrid. I can't do that.
I need your help getting there.
That happens once a month. Thank you. That's it. That's the only hint you get. Nothing more.
Lindsay.
Yeah, no, I'm with both of them. I'm a weenie.
I get it.
Weenie Hut Junior.
All right. Good
I always
question.
feel like it's a cop-out answer if the actor's like, absolutely, I totally want that to happen. It's like, no, you don't. That sounds awful.
No, you don't.
Be realistic.
Yeah, take that responsibility. Be so real.
Yo!
But he'll get toast and pets.
But we get that
already
now.
We
have
already
toast.
missed that.
And I don't need the pets.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
This is more in regarding the manga, but do y'all have any predictions on who you think Kobeni is in contract with?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh my God, there's a giant Eevee back there. That is a big old. Yeah, everybody got a good.
You did say Pokemon for a
Yeah,
while.
you are. I see you shaking. Thank you. Amazing. He's like, I will give everything I have to this interaction. I've always been very curious myself. I mean, I'd like to think maybe there's like a luck devil or something like that, you know? Like there's something very unclear about how her powers work that I, would like to know more about for sure.
It's a secret. The secret devil. That's what I got. I just came up with it right now.
Good
Thank
question.
you.
Good question.
And once again, you look freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super.
Thank you.
Hey, Fire Force.
Thank you. What is y'all's favorite opening? The first.
Oh, you mean the endings?
Yeah.
It changed as the episodes dropped, but I think it's a tie between the Maximum the Hormone song, the third ending, and the 8th episode ending, which is also phenomenal.
I like.
8th for me too.
I like the first.
Oh hell yeah, Chainsaw Blood's a great song.
And that was it. That's all I wanted.
Right on.
All right, thank you, buddy. Thank you for that question. Hello, good sir.
Yo.
Hi.
Wait.
Just a quick question. Do you guys have any specific routines to become your character? I know you guys do a lot of voice acting for different characters, so I'm just trying to see, do you guys have different types of things you guys do to
for
get
the
into?
different characters?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question. Not for me personally, no. I mean, my routine is usually drink coffee.
Me too.
A lot of it really just comes down to the headspace you have to put yourself in more than anything else. I mean, Denji's obviously also a very physical role, but so more than anything, I mean, I try and make sure I'm at least awake. A few hours beforehand, I'll go to the gym and have my body warmed up because it is very physically demanding. But as far as prepping for the part itself, other than that, it's really just kind of going to that vulnerable head and heart space that Denji sits in and just kind of letting that take over.
I don't really have a routine either, aside from just coming in with a latte and some water. I generally try to go in a little bit later if I can. That way I'll know that my voice has time to just kind of go through it and warm up on its own. I think I used to do a lot of little exercises, but recently I'm just it's fine. The coffee will heal me.
Always. No routine for me either. Maybe I should be doing one. But no, I pretty much I just show up. I don't even bring water with me. I take their water.
They always have water. I always make sure to take an extra bottle on the way
They
out
have free
too.
drinks for us, so
Might as well.
why not?
Exactly.
Well, I couldn't imagine Power drinking an energy drink.
Oh gosh, you don't need
You
that.
don't need more of that in there.
Do
Yeah,
not
she's
need
alright.
that. Do not let her have that.
How would she react though if she had one?
Oh, she
Off the
would
wall.
get addicted immediately.
Done. Over. Addiction.
They would find her in the walls.
I don't know.
Just
Aw man, didn't you teach us enough already, dude?
What's up, friends? Alright, so
Oh.
I know I had a conversation with you briefly, and you haven't even started acting these scenes out, but your character is Denji and Power. You go through such an emotional transformation. You start as a teenager trying to figure out what love even is. And then y'all's relationship is about to hit a major flip. Darkness, Bath is taking care of each other. When you become Teen Dad of the Year pretty much, have y'all started figuring out and how you're going to approach those changes as an actor?
Well, it's kind of almost similar to the answer that I had before for the questions about playing these scenes together. I think so much of it is, if you're lucky enough, you get to be in a show, one that is written with such depth and nuance and care, but also you get to do it with other actors that can do that and go to those places, and also that you trust and feel comfortable with. We are all friends first, before this project, and it has only brought us closer, and there is so much just trust in each other, because we don't even live in the same state. I do all my stuff from Los Angeles, so it really is, we see each other when we travel. They do, but it's a fragmented thing.
You're alone thinking about yourself.
we get together however we can, but so much of it, we don't really pre-plan that far ahead, because there's still obviously so much, coming through it. But I mean, we're always there for each other. We're all in group DMs with each other. We're constantly, talking on any given day or sending silly memes to each other. So when it comes down to doing a scene that may need a little extra conversation beforehand or something, we know that we're there for each other to be able to find that nuance. And Mike, our director, is so sensitive and caring to that stuff that he gives you the space to really explore it, and he trusts us with that stuff too. So I'm incredibly excited. We spoke about it earlier, as someone who's read up to where we're at now, there's so much great stuff to get to emotionally explore moving forward, and I really can't wait. Thank you.
As he says.
As he says. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
This question is for Sarah. I have a little baby sister. She's 10 years old, and she loves Charmy so much. And I was hoping that you could say hi to her this recording in Charmy's voice, if possible.
Yeah. We don't eat to live. We don't eat to live. We live to eat.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good one. All right, next up. Hey. What's up, Scream?
Hello.
I do like scary movies.
What's your favorite? No, I'm just kidding. No. Do you have any a wish list on where you would like your characters to be in other franchises? For example, Denji in Mortal Kombat 1, Power in Darkstalkers, and maybe Pochita in Super Monkey Ball.
I mean, those are all pretty solid choices.
I love all that.
Thank you. I actually thought all that up on the spot. I'm trying to think, because Splatoon, Nintendo doesn't like anything, so no. I know Splatoon wouldn't like that one.
I mean, I still think Denji's dream world is the Pokemon world, because he just gets to be around adorable critters that all want to be his friend. That seems like the dream to him.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
World?
Yeah.
I see.
Put Power in Animal Crossing.
Just watch all the islands burn.
Why are the villagers leaving one by one? Where are they? Where did they go?
Tom Nook in jail?
I've seen a couple of fun crossovers with fan art that people have done. One with Pochita and Anya from Spy Family. That would be a cute pairing. And then one that was really funny of the Wall and Attack on Titan with a giant Pochita peering down over the wall. That was great.
Oh, that's super awesome. Maybe one day, maybe in Jump Force. Never say no.
We can dream.
Yeah, we can dream. Hey, cool costume.
Thank you. I was just wondering, when y'all are maybe in your house chilling by yourself, do y'all ever just do the voice just out of fun? When you're playing something, watching something.
No, I can't say it. I mean, but the other reality is it's not that far as you can hear from my actual voice. So maybe occasionally it sneaks out, even if I don't mean it to. Every now and then, I will say that something that made its way into the show that is a very genuine thing that we just say no matter what is yes. So always, there's definitely those slip out all the time. Yes.
There's one thing I've been saying, and it has yet to come though. But I keep saying you are a thief, no? It's why is my bottle in your room? You're a thief, no?
For a while, Sarah was walking around just going, bitch thing.
Bitch thing. Slut thing.
That's great. I don't think I've ever just intentionally done his voice for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I have intentionally barked, but only because
to assert dominance over your dog.
Exactly. Trying to teach him to.
Yeah. Trying to.
No. I mean, I do silly voices at home in general all of the time because I have a 3-year-old, and it helps keep him entertained. And he loves having me like read books to him, and so all the characters in the books get voices. And occasionally there's a dog. Sometimes he likes to pretend to be a dog and then wants me to also pretend to be a dog, so then that happens. And, well, I guess I occasionally had my son, who is, mentioned, is 3, so he's never watched Chainsaw Man, of course.
So you think.
Right. But he is familiar with Pochita, like, as a concept, I guess, as a character, like, because he's seen, the stickers and the, t-shirts and whatever, and so he like knows of the character and vaguely understands, I guess, that I provide the voice for it. So I think he's asked me a couple times to like do the voice for the character, or like, he has a plushie of it. He wants me to, like, do the voice with the plushie.
Dance,
Can I do that? Yeah. Oh, absolutely, 100%. The dynamic between my son and I is him looking at me and him all day being like, dance, monkey, dance. Perform for me. Entertain me.
I need entertainment.
All right, thank you for that question.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay, we got time for about 2 more questions.
Hi, so I wanted to know, are you guys excited for the movie?
Nah. So insanely excited. For those of you who, I'm sure most of y'all are in the know, but October 29th, the movie is going to be coming out, and it is the next major part of the story. So if you have only seen these 12 episodes, emotionally prepare yourselves. Yeah, incredibly excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I
know you.
Yeah, who are you?
I'm you. So I like to say, this is for Ryan Cole. For Ryan, throughout the whole series of Chainsaw Man, playing Denji, what was your most memorable moment throughout the whole series?
Oh, dude, it's so tough to pick just one, but to narrow it down, honestly, recording the very first episode was a really, really deeply special thing for me because like I said, I found the manga years before that. I really felt connected to Denji, and I had been, fortunate enough to be the lead of a couple of different projects before that, but this was something that was different on a whole other level. I knew it was going to be taken in on a different level, and I felt so deeply connected to it. And just as a fan, going in to record that episode and seeing it all, the animation and everything, like before you guys were getting to see the episode, I was getting to geek out over it. And just experiencing that and seeing how beautifully it was done and how much love it was given, it was extraordinary. And that feeling, because that first episode's kind of like a mini movie just with Denji. So it was, a lot of time just me, our director Mike, and our engineers just sitting in that space, and it was so personal and special. So that, as much as there was amazing, one-liners throughout the rest of the show and working with everybody is a dream, that is like burned in my, like I can remember exactly where I was standing, looking at the screen in the studio, like taking a deep breath, being like, here we go. Awesome.
You're the best, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Awesome,
You look amazing.
Awesome. But we're not done quite yet. We're not done quite yet.
I feel like you're up to something.
We are. Me and Lindsay, we're up to something. Now, for those of you who don't know, Lindsay also works with Spy Family.
In Spy Family, I am the voice of Fiona Frost, aka Agent Nightfall, aka Homewrecker.
Now listen.
All right, well, time for a giveaway. So we have here a nice little Spy Family, little souvenir from this panel. All right.
We want you to fight for it. All right, everybody.
To the death. I'm going to throw it on the floor. Just kidding. How would you want to work this out? Who wins it? What do you want to do?
God, it's up to me?
Yeah, how do you want to do this? Favorite color, first one to say it, maybe?
What was that?
Favorite color, first one to say it?
I don't have a favorite color, which, by the way, my son gets very frustrated with me about.
You should really pick that. I can't believe
he's like, my favorite color is red. What is your favorite color?
It's also red?
I don't know.
It's red also?
It's also red, right? Say it's red.
Well, Pochita out there, maybe? You want Pochita?
Oh, well, yeah, maybe. Oh, okay. Well, they
well,
stuck it up first, so.
All right, so who? Oh, good lord! Who did you see? I didn't see it.
Oh.
I did not see who did it.
The one sticking out into the aisle.
Like right here? Like right there?
Yeah.
All right, come on up. By the way, you gotta show off that Pochita there.
Hey! Wait, am I
And now you have to park, and then.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're in the full card too, man. Hell yeah.
All right.
Congratulations, you are the winner. That's fine. I know we're doing this till
Surprise!
Surprise! Yep, surprise. Okay, so if you did not get a chance to talk with them, ask a question, don't worry. Your booths will be open momentarily, right? You're gonna eat first or anything?
We might be doing lunch first. I'm not sure, but we will be back at the table.
I plan to go directly to my table because, as you saw, I walked on stage with a plate of food.
She already got her
so I already
super tip.
have that. So I'm just going to take it to my table. So you can, if you want to come and like talk to me while I stuff my face, that's cool.
There you go.
You can do that.
You can join the pig, right?
Yeah, join the pig, because that's what I am.
Again, give it up for the cast of
Thank you.
Chainsaw
Thank you
Man.
guys so much. We are so